Hello friends, my name is Catherine and today we are going to be making paper beads. I recently had a request to do paper beads and I haven't done them since I was a child, so we're going to see if I remember how. I think I do, but we shall see. The first thing that you're going to want to do is mix up a little bit of glue and water. PVA glue by itself is going to be a little thick for this project. So I've got this little tray with water in it, and I'm just dumping in some Eileen's Tacky Glue, which is a PVA glue. Any PVA glue would work for this, or any of your favorite decoupage glues, even like a glue stick would work for this. Although I prefer the hold of a PVA glue over a glue stick normally. Sorry. Yeah. I prefer the hold of a PVA glue over a glue stick normally. So there we are. We've got it and it's watered down a bit. Not completely runny. Not, just dripping straight off, but not as thick as it was. So we're going to set that aside and decide what paper we want to use for making our paper glues. I've got this pack of candy Chiogami papers that I want to use for this, but you absolutely can use whatever paper you want to make your beads out of. Let's open it up and pick a good one. I think Runts. Yep, I think Runts printed paper would be awesome for this. Okay, now the next thing that you're going to need is a ruler and a pencil to write with. And then you're going to decide how wide you want your beads. I want my beads to be about 1/2 inch wide. So I'm going to line the ruler up with the side of this paper. Go. If I can get it to line up. And then I'm going to put a mark every 1/2 inch all the way down the page. This is going to make quite a few beads. There we go. Okay, and then turn it around and do the same thing, but this time, so we started from this edge before, so we're going to start from this edge, so we're staying along the same side, but this time we're going to start at the 1/4 inch mark. So we'll go get it lined up, start at the 1/4 inch mark, and then put a line every 1/2 inch. And that is actually going to be really significant because it's what's going to create our offset, and it's what's going to make all of the beads the same size. That's putting the line every 1/2 inch. And putting it at a 1/4 inch first is what's going to create a tapered line for the next step, which you'll see in just a moment. And it's what's going to make this whole thing work. So now that we've got marks at a 1/2 inch on each side, this one offset by a 1/4 inch, we're going to take and connect those offset marks across the paper, stair-stepping from one connected one to the next. There we go. So I'm moving up one side and keeping the other side in the same place, and then moving up the opposite side and keeping the original one that moved in the same place. So it creates this sort of zigzag line, and that's exactly what we want. That's going to be exactly what we need to do in order to make these beads work. And this is going to make quite a few beads of nice bright colors, and you're not going to be able to tell the pattern, at least with this large of a pattern and this small of a bead, once it's completed. But maybe something like a floral pattern or something, you might be able to still tell the pattern of the paper once you were done. It would depend on the paper and the size of the pattern, and there'd be several different factors going into that. But there we go. Okay, so I haven't got all of these lines connected yet. I've made it about halfway, but I think that's where I'm going to stop for now. I'll come back through and finish them up later. And then the first thing that we're going to do, after you've got all of your lines drawn, which all of mine aren't, but the first thing that you're going to do is take and cut along the first line at the end. And this paper you could make a bead out of, but it's not angled on this side, so it's not going to create, actually, you know what? That's a 1/2 inch. We probably could take it at this 1/4 inch angle and see if I can't just kind of sort of make a straight cut. There we go. Okay, I think that one will work. And then I've got this little sliver of paper, and that's not going to be good for anything. I'll cut off a couple of more of these, that way we have a couple of different pieces to work with. There we go. All right, and then I will set that aside for making more out of it in a moment. So I've got these now, and they are angled on both sides, and that's going to be important. You'll see in a moment why. And then we've got a bamboo skewer. A bit of wire would also work for this. This is just going to be something round that we can wrap our paper around. Then what you're going to do is take your paper and roll it around the back edge of the skewer so that you've got it fitted all the way around dry, and then take a little bit of glue and brush it on and wrap that around. And that glue, since it's a little bit runny, should squish out so we can wrap it further than we brushed the glue onto it. Go. And then I'll just keep wrapping it until that glue stops squishing. And I'm just kind of rolling the skewer along the paper. So we're building up layers and layers of paper here with glue in between to hold everything together. There we go. And then a little bit more glue and keep rolling. So this is going to be what makes the bead sort of round and what gives it its shape. Got a little bit of glue squeezed out on the side, so I'm just going to take and put that back onto the paper and keep rolling. And need a little bit more glue. And then just keep rolling. And the trick to this is always going to be to get the glue on the paper but not on the skewer, because you don't want to be gluing your paper to your skewer or your wire or what have you. And a 1/2 inch creates a really little cute bead. If you used a longer piece of paper, the bead would be fatter than this. It would build up wider. But I actually really like how that turned out. let's do another one. So the same process, do it on the same skewer, no reason not to. Just take and wrap the paper around so that it fits dry toward the center, and try and get it even, hopefully, so that I'm rolling it onto itself. There we go, and then put a little glue and roll it along. And I didn't get very much glue on that time, so it's not pushing out. That's okay. Get a little bit more glue. Glue. Put it on. That should be enough that it pushes out, and it does. Awesome. So roll it along. A little bit more glue. All the way down until your bead is finished. All the way down. There we go. All the way along. Trying to make sure that I roll it evenly. Trying to, being the operative word in that case. And there you have it. 2 paper beads. That's what I'm going to be doing today. I actually really like how these are turning out. You can go in afterward and pull them off of the skewer, and actually you may want to wait until they dry first. But you can go in afterward and pull them off of the skewer, which is why we were very careful not to get glue on the skewer itself. That way they don't stick to the skewer or the wire or what have you. And then once you've done that, you can glaze them with another layer of glue or some resin or some nail polish if you want to, just to give them a shiny outer texture so that you can end up with matte beads like these are, or shiny ones afterward. But that's what I'm doing. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope this showed you how to make paper beads. They are very easy to do. Just do some triangle strips of paper and wrap them around something round. And, oh, remember to subscribe, and I will see you guys all later. Bye!